Right now in America, homelessness is at record highs, and these people are not living in shelters necessarily. They're living in cars, vans, and RVs. They're in parking lots. In fact, nearly 40% of unsheltered people are living in vehicles or outside. This is beyond a housing issue at this point. It's a sign of what's really going on in this economy that is not doing well at all.
Hey, what's up, guys? So it's like 3:30 in the morning time. Yeah, so I am living in a U-Haul truck right now. So like seriously, um, as you can see, yeah, like a U-Haul truck. GMC, got my Cheetos right here, and you know, yeah. So um, it's this stuff right here, but yeah. So I know some of you guys, it's nighttime. Like I said, it's three, almost 3:30 in the morning time, and some of you guys are in similar situations. We are in a so-called recession, and I think we still are in a recession, right? Yeah. But anyway, times are tough. So, to speak, and then some of you guys are struggling to pay your rent and to step up the water. It's trying to drown you and whatever, but I know what that feels like.
So let me stop this right here. Obviously, the housing crisis is real, right? There's no denying that. And what's crazy is that clearly there's a problem. There's more inventory of houses, but there's not enough people who are able to buy them, right? But people still talk about housing like this is just some greedy landlords raising prices, and it's so miserable that all I can afford is living in this U-Haul or living in hotels. That's another one I've seen popping up on TikTok lately. And one thing that I do not hear enough people talking about, shout out to another popular YouTuber that said this. He says not enough people are practicing group economics. And that's exactly what it sounds like. Shout out to the Hispanics and the Asians from back in the day who used to do this exact same thing. They would come to the country, and they couldn't afford anything on their own, so they would get together, live together, just suffer with some discomfort for a minute until they got enough of the bag, got enough coin to get something on their own. They would invest in themselves, either their business or whatever, and then do it again. Bring more people over, and that's how we got to where we are now. People are not trying to hear that. People are not trying to hear that today, and I'm telling you, I don't make excuses for systems that I can't control. I don't. I can't control what the government does. I can vote. Maybe I win. Maybe I'm part of the group that wins. Maybe I'm part of the group that loses. But I exercise my right to vote that generations died for before me. Hopefully, with enough education, I research what I want to vote for, and I cast my ballot. Hopefully, it goes through. That's the democratic system we live in. And we live in a country that's not perfect, but we're in the best country in the world where we can exercise our democratic freedom and our democratic right to choose. Is the system corrupt? Absolutely. Are we often heard? Most of the time, we are not. Is the majority crooked, or rather misinformed? Yeah, I'll say that. But I can only control what I can control. I cannot control greedy landlords. I cannot control raising prices. I think, scratch that. I know that the real problem is modern life itself is getting too expensive for the average person to maintain. Let me say that a different way. Most modern people want things they cannot afford yet, but instead of taking that L and sucking it up to wait to get the thing they can afford to build up to it, they take on debt, take on, they eat with their eyes on an empty stomach. They eat more than they can eat. Gluttony. They live like gluttons in the sense that I don't mean like they're putting good gorging on food, but they're basically coveting and getting things they cannot afford because somebody next to them has it. That's real. I'm not calling people out because I've done it myself and I paid the price. I paid the price. Paying the price. I had to learn the hard way, but people aren't trying to hear that. Y'all ain't trying to hear that. Group economics. Real world situation. And I'm going to bring it back to this U-Haul in a second. Just bear with me. Real world situation. I know a couple of sets of people that are personally connected that are in bad financial situations. And we're in that situation for a while. They live in places that are not ideal. And it's a struggle for all of these individuals. If these individuals were to come together and suck it up and live together, it would be crazy uncomfortable. But it would allow them to pool their resources, save, get together their plans, whatever it is they're trying to do, basically give them some freedom to do what they need to do to get out of the economic rut that they're in. But instead, every person in this situation deaded that. They're like, nah, I ain't trying to hear that. I'd rather suck it up and live this way than deal with this person's problem here or this person's problem there. This brother just said in this video, I should rewind it, but he said he knows other people in the exact same situation he's in. And instead of Voltroning it up, joining forces and getting a cheap place together where it is less burden on themselves individually, this guy is going to go into a U-Haul and make a video about how hard it is. I'm not saying he's I'm not saying he's karma farming. I'm saying that, is this really the solution? Who is this helping? Is it helping him? Is it helping other people that are in the same situation that he's in? Is it just creating a circle jerk of people going, yeah, man, the system's hard, man. I get it, man. I feel you. The economy, the housing market is hard, man. Sometimes people got to do that. I might have to do that, man. It's hard, man. Forget the system. Forget the rich. Forget the landlords. Yeah, I get it. So, and let's keep it 100. Let's keep it real. I get it. We were told that education and you work hard and, adulthood would eventually give you security. But like I'm always telling you, basically the foundation of my channel is that the old systems are dead. Everything that you thought you knew, that you were taught, kill it, erase it, it's over. Job security is over. Meritocracy is over. Everything's changed. Now you can pass a moral judgment on it. It can be good or bad, but it is what it is. So how you adapt to it, the choices you make, is going to determine how you survive.
This video is for you if you've been interested in rental real estate for passive income. I went from 0 to 90 doors in under 5 years. But when people hear 90 doors, all they think is freedom. But nobody actually sees what it takes to keep all of this running. By the end of this video, you'll understand what it looks like running a real estate portfolio day to day, so you can decide if this is something you actually want. So when I tell people that I have 90 doors of real estate, the first thing they ask is, why do you still work? That's the number one question I get. People are like, that should be more than enough to cover your expenses, and they assume that you've made it. And when I think back, really got here by accident. I had no idea what it was going to take to run a business at this scale. I didn't even intentionally try to get to this scale. But I think once you get to 90 doors, people imagine that you're living like Grant Cardone and you have everything figured out and it's all good.
Yeah, so 90 doors, obviously 90 properties. But I wanted to give you a face to the anger that you're feeling, or a lot of people feel anyway, when they say that they can't, housing is too hard, they can't get housing, it's too expensive. The greedy people are controlling housing for regular people who can't get in. Well, you know, this is one of those greedy people who found a way to accumulate 90 doors, 90 properties, to change her fortunes, to change her future. And it still ain't easy. Just keep that in mind. People like blaming landlords. I'm gonna call those individuals, rich individuals, because systematically, the system is unstable and it feels overwhelming. It's too much to process. It's easier just to get on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or message board or X or whatever and complain about it. And then worse, this dude, I'm not saying this dude specifically, but this generation of person usually gets on TikTok and they're the first ones talking about they don't vote because their vote has no power. Nah, it's for what? The person I'm voting for is going to lose anyway, or they're not hearing me anyway, so why do it? So, no personal accountability, no personal agency, and no mentorship, because no one's telling them that this path is not the way, it's not the way to go. And I get it. I get it, y'all. I hear you. Half my videos are about AI anyway, unintentionally. That's not where I wanted to be, but I get that's where we are. And AI and automation, they're rocking career stability. It's shaking everything we knew. People are in heavy debt and bad educational choices. I was a film and writing major, so I feel you. The cost of even maintaining your modern life, your iPad, your camera, your internet, all this stuff is expensive. And the jobs aren't changing fast enough. They aren't rewarding you fast enough. They're not matching the income that's necessary to make it in today's society if you want all the accoutrements of being in a modern society. Totally get it. Group economics is all I'm saying. Because here's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. Those landlords that we hate, they're paying more too. Real talk. When we didn't pay our money, our rent, our mortgages during COVID, the landowners were not collecting money. But that doesn't mean the people who own the land that their property was sitting on doesn't want their money. So everybody had to take a L. Property taxes, maintenance on that property. Because, while you're living in it, things can still go bad, but that landlord still has to come up with money to pay for the things that go bad. Insurance, labor, utilities, everything is rising simultaneously. And that evil land baron, which I'm not saying there aren't any, but what we love pointing our fingers at, that dude who owns the property, who took the risk of buying these properties so they can accumulate some level of wealth and legacy, they're the ones who have to hold the bag. People, and I know this sounds like I'm apologizing or making excuses for landlords. I'm not. What I'm saying is there's a level of personal accountability in everything. Yes, people are angry because housing used to represent something like maturity and adulthood and most of all stability. And now it's just pressure. It represents pressure. Degrees stop giving you security. But society still emotionally sells people the old rules, the old blueprint, and it's dead. So when I see this, and I keep seeing videos about, this, I'm sure there's another one right after this about another person that's struggling and society's hurting. A homestead journey loves making videos like this. I get it. I call it poverty porn. That's what it is to me. But it's true. There's another side to this. There's another way to look at it, and that's called group economics. Shout out to, I think I got this from Anton Daniels. I know he's not the first person to say that. Before you guys go immediately jumping on me about being some kind of MAGA red winger, I'm not. I agree with some stuff the dude says. I don't agree with other stuff he says. I like the channel. I have my own mind. I pray that you do too. In this sense, I think this is good advice no matter what color of the rainbow you come from. Exercise group economics. Take advantage of the things that you can control in a world that seems to be more and more uncontrollable. Because the minute you get control of the piece of land, the flotilla that you're on, the ocean becomes less unstable, it becomes less wavy, and you get some stability, and you get to chart your own course. Think about it. In the meantime, like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Peace.